Hey friends, this is Dolynny TV, and the Edmonton Oilers. Chris Knobloch, head coach, has absolutely scrambled things up at practice today when it comes to the defense for the Edmonton Oilers. This is an unexpected move, but maybe one that many Oilers fans following the Vegas loss are going to be quite happy with if this ends up happening longer term rather than just kind of a jumbled up practice to see if there's some fits where the Oilers haven't tried to find fits before. Friends, welcome aboard to Dolynny TV. I can safely say now thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for helping me hit 15,000 subscribers here on Dolynny TV. It's been a long journey. It's 10 plus years at this point, but it gets bigger and better every year, and I appreciate each and every one of you continuing to tune in, whether it be to the videos every time, whether it be to the live streams, the shorts, whatever you have it. It's been fantastic to be along for this ride as, I guess I could say, the captain of the ship. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm assuming that if we have a pretty good playoffs, we could be on for a good ride into May, June, and possibly that 20,000 subscriber mark. I'm making bones of that right now, but normally at this point I'd play a subscribe ad and ask you to do that. I'm going to dance around that instead today and deflect over to this, where the Edmonton Oilers have some new defensive pairings. Small on the screen, could have made it better. That's my failure, my apologies there. Tony Brouwer bringing us the new lines from Chris Knobloch and Paul Coffey. Nurse, Desharnais, Ekholm, Ceci, Kulak, and Bouchard, your third pair. So what we're learning here from this is if this ends up being the situation the Oilers go with, the forward lines are a totally different look as well. Talking about potentially having Corey Perry in the top six, as you see there. However, what I would mention here for the Oilers, what I would mention overall when it comes down to it, is having Kulak and Bouchard on the third pair. That's a pretty offensive upside third pair. That's a pretty well-sheltered Evan Bouchard in the Oilers lineup. And it's a really good reward to see a guy like Vinny Desharnais, who took a lot of flack at the end of the playoffs last year for being slow-footed, being kind of easy to beat to the puck and stuff like that. He is growing tremendously this year at the NHL level and showing so much for this Oilers defense that the coach felt comfortable mid-year, coming straight out of a 16-game win streak, to sit here and look at him as a top pairing defenseman alongside Darnell Nurse. And friends, the Oilers are at their top flight offense when Darnell Nurse is scoring goals and putting up the assist numbers. So if that's kind of the idea here, I like it, because, you know, Cody Ceci really has not enabled Darnell Nurse to be his full-fledged offensive personality that he has on the ice, because he's had to tone in the defense over the past few years as well. But if you can kind of take what has helped Darnell Nurse on the defensive side of the puck and allow him to play that offensive style that we know he has, we could be in for a lot of fun as long as he stays defensively responsible. You look at these lines as well with Ekholm and Ceci. That kind of creates, quote-unquote, that shutdown second pair that the Edmonton Oilers have been looking for a long while, or it auditions Ceci to be moved out for a shutdown pairing defender like one Chris Tanev, which we'll talk about all that later tonight in another episode around 9:30, 10 o'clock. So there's the new look lines, right? That's some thoughts on what could possibly be looking here for the Edmonton Oilers, how this could possibly play out and what's really going on here. But as you see in this post, sorry, my apologies, Chris Knobloch also said it's something they just wanted to look at. Today was just a practice. It hasn't been decided if we're doing that on Friday. Now, to be honest with you, Friday would be probably, in this road trip, in this back half of the season, one of the best times to do it, right? I mean, you're playing the Anaheim Ducks. It makes sense, 100%. Let's go. However, at the end of the day, you don't want to rock the ship too much, and he did make a lot of comments during a 25-31 second clip there from Tony Brouwer as well on his X account today, mentioning, like, from Chris Knobloch, and personally in an interview, like, I don't want to rock the ship. I don't want to sit here and just absolutely change up everything that really isn't technically broken, but can it be better? And I think that's just the aim of today's practice in Coachella Valley, to look at kind of what's going on for the Oilers in terms of what they could do come playoff time, or what they might have to do come playoff time to better defend as a team. So that's some pretty interesting stuff, right? There's a lot to swallow there. I think I really like kind of the approach that the Oilers are taking here with Bouchard. It's something that we saw later on with Tyson Barrie as an Edmonton Oiler. He went from being a top pairing defenseman to obviously being a third pairing defenseman with power play 1 responsibilities. And it really started in that back half of last year to start paying dividends before the Oilers dealt him off to, of course, the Nashville Predators for 1 Matthias Ekholm. So I don't want to sit here and say you want to do that to Evan Bouchard, but if Evan Bouchard is able to still average 18 minutes a night playing on the third pair because of power play time, and now he's not quite as tired, he's more physically able to shoot the puck on the power play, he's less prone to mistakes because of the reduced 5-on-5 ice time, that only benefits the Oilers' end of the day, right? Is the less mistakes you have on the ice through 60 minutes, the less chances you have to go in the back of the net. And that's where I'm going along the questioning of, this is going to make some Oilers fans very happy to see a potential defensive lineup that has Evan Bouchard on the third pair, not playing what would figure to be 20 minutes a night with all the 5-on-5 responsibility. Not to say Evan Bouchard's so bad that we should send him to the minors and never see him again. That's not where I'm going with this, but it's interesting to see how, coming out of a loss against Vegas, the coach responds with this kind of practice, this kind of angle, and looking to see what he has in the guys that are established, that are dedicated to being in the lineup every single night by this coaching staff. So we'll see what happens here for the Oilers, but definitely something that's worth talking about, something that's worth noting, and something that we definitely have to look forward to talking more about as the months roll on here towards just about summertime, when the Oilers could be in the Stanley Cup final. Just saying. Other than that, really, there's some more rumors and stuff that we have to get to later on tonight, so I'll make sure to mention that as we get later towards 9:30, 10 o'clock, probably schedule that and get that going. So, friends, that is really all that I have on the Oilers' new defensive pairs today. There's a ton of trade rumors, like I said, so we'll discuss all that later, but for the Oilers, good on him. Chris Knoblauch, he's not been afraid to mix things up. Even when we were winning 16 straight, he made a lot of line changes that folks said were going to be the reason the Oilers were going to lose the streak. And game after game, we kept adding all the way up to 16. So I look forward to seeing what Chris Knoblauch and Paul Coffey have for us, the rest of the coaching staff as well, when it comes down to Anaheim tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Friends, I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. Thanks for being aboard. As always, like I said, we'll catch you later. I am up on out of here.